Hi, I'm Ai-jen Pu. I'm the director of the National Domestic Workers Alliance, and I'm here today with Sara Horowitz of the Freelancers Union. Can you start by just sharing a little bit about the Freelancers Union and where you come from?
Sure. Freelancers Union now has 230,000 members nationally, and it's really about people who work independently, from people who work as nannies to security guards to programmers, writers, to finance people.
Freelancers Union brings together its members to form their own insurance group and offers them health, dental, life, and disability insurance.
Really, it's about bringing people together to say there's this whole new way of working and really a whole new way to have an economy. And so Freelancers Union works on kind of both sides of the equation of helping people get what they need right now, but also starting to articulate, like, what's this kind of society that's going to really enable us to work in this way and be full 360 people, like totally who we are.
I was around when the Freelancers Union started all those years ago, and I know it's been a long and amazing journey. Can you talk a little bit about the journey and what's coming ahead?
When I started, it really was about how do we figure out this new way for people to come together, because they can't be in traditional unions, and their number one issue was health care. And I thought, oh my God, how boring is that? Let's just get that done and we'll move on to the next issue. And it turned out that that was the string that made the whole thing unravel, because it showed that the whole New Deal safety net, where you get your benefits from your job, was starting to fall apart.
Do you think of your work as innovation?
It's really funny. I think of my work as just the things that have to get done now, and think about like what needs to get done for like the next 25 years. And what are the things we have to do in the next 3 to 5 to keep us moving there? One of the things that I think we're starting to get really much better at is we now have 100,000 people coming to our blog every month, and we're starting to really be able to talk about what's happening to freelancers. What are the things you need in terms of networking? Not just networking as in I put a card in somebody's hand, but something about how do I form connections and relationships and roots in a community.
That's so interesting. So you really think on a 25-year...
Well, not every day, but I think people are really starting to say, if I'm not going to have these great jobs with benefits and the gold watch and that whole thing, what do I really want out of life? It's almost existentialist, And how do I have work that fits into something that makes me feel like a whole person? That's the 25-year mark.
Looking into our crystal balls, like, what are the things that you see that we need to be doing right now?
We're at the level where we're bringing people together. We're helping to bring those markets together. But our next challenge is, and the challenge I think for the social sector in general is, let's make some more complex institutions that are funded and funded for good. I think a lot about this generation of the labor movement in the 1920s had this concept called social unionism, and it really talked about like, you are a full person. So they built, great housing and education and, all from the union. And my grandmother lived in union housing, and it's not like it was any big deal. We all got in our family's Rambler and went over the Brooklyn Bridge and went to visit our grandmother. I didn't really think that it was kind of revolutionary that my grandmother lived in union housing, but I think it always stayed with me because she lived till 96, and wow. I really feel like it's because she had friends, she had no economic insecurity, she had really good health care. Sometimes we kind of have to reimagine what a whole generation actually really got to some mature state.
That's right. It's funny you bring up your grandmother, because my grandmother, who's 87, is a lot of the inspiration for how I think about what kind of care systems we would want for the future. And it's a lot because she's supported by this fantastic caregiver. And there's seeds of that relationship that are so beautiful that could be replicated everywhere. And so it's interesting that both of our grandmothers came into a conversation about innovation. Thank you so much, Sara. This has been fun and inspiring, as you always are.